We are continuing to work on our 5-point NBT.7. This is our target. We're going to read it through just once, but we will revisit it right before we start our actual lesson. Let's go ahead and read.
I can multiply decimal fractions with tens by multi-digit whole numbers using place value understanding to record partial products.
So get in your head just for a minute what you think we will be visiting today. We're going to start with our fluency. First answer I want you to just call out and then we're going to write. Everybody together. 3 times 2 is?
6.
6. If I take 3 times 2 and I multiply it by 10, think in your mind, then I divide that by 10, what is your answer? Write it on your board. Check with your neighbor. If you're done and your neighbor's done, check. And what did everybody get? 6. Let's try another one. See if this always works. What is 5 times 3/10? Write it in unit form, please. 5 times 3/10. What is 5 times 3/10? Check with your neighbor. If you both have the same answer, show. If you do not, help your neighbor get the right answer. What is 5 times 3/10? Let's see, table 1. Everybody have it? 15/10. Excellent. 15/10. Do we have all tables the same? Good job. If 5 times 3/10 is 15/10, then what is 5 times 0.3 or decimal 3? Or we can say 3/10 again. What is 5 times 3/10? Quickly write it. Make sure if you have a decimal, it's really big so Miss Bonham's eyes can see it. And ready, set, show. Table 3, good. Table 2, excellent. Excellent. And our back group, very good. Thank you. All right. What do you think my next question is going to be? 5 times 3/10 times 10 divided by 10 is what? What is it? Write your answer. And this time, boys and girls, I'm going to stop you for a minute because I'm noticing something. Here, when they wrote the word tenths, we answered in unit form. Here, when we made the decimal, what form did we answer in?
Standard.
I heard it. Standard form. So if on this question they're giving us standard form, what will your answer be? Standard form. So tenths is perfect up here. Right now, let's write this one in standard form. Who thinks they know what this next sentence is going to say?
Times 10 divided by 10.
Times 10 divided by 10. Ready, set. This should take you 3 seconds. Right, set, go. Oh, Hayden got it. Excellent. Show fast so we can move. Remember, this is fluency. We want it fast and smooth. Excellent. All right, one last time. And boys and girls, this is going to help us later in our lesson today. Who can tell me why the products are the same in each of these when we multiply by 10 and divide by 10? Let's sum it up. Tell your partner quickly why they're the same.
6 times 2.
Got it?
You said 6 for one person, so then you get times 10.
And then when you divide by 10, take away your 0 and then add a 0.
Okay, boys and girls, I want to stop you for a minute. I really don't want you calculating this. I want you to figure out what the premise behind it is. Why? I don't want you going, well, this is, I multiply by 10, so I put a 0, and then I divide by 10. Why is it that if I multiply and divide by the same number, I end up with the same product that I started with? Hayden, give it a shot.
The 10 divided by 10 equals 1, but the number we got from before, if we do that, 1 divided by our number, which is 75, gives us 75.
Right, so the key is when I multiply by 10, and I divide by 10, I'm really doing what? And Hayden told us, what are we doing? Multiplying or dividing by? 1. Very good. Multiplying. Would this work? This is your thought question. Would this work if this wasn't 10? What if I put 17? What if I said 3 times 2.5 times 17 divided by 17? Would it work? Think about it. Alexa, what do you think?
It would work because when you're multiplying it by 17, if you just divide it by 17, it'll be the same numbers.
Because 17 divided by 17 is? 1. Excellent. What about if I went 4,225, I multiply it by that, and then divide it by the same thing? Would we still get the same product as our first two numbers? Yes, because they kind of cancel each other out, don't they? If I multiply by a number, then divide by the exact same number, my original product will what? It'll stay the same. And that's important in our lesson today.
How did you get 70 scales? I mean, not 70.
Let's revisit our target. Look and read through this and tell me what you think we will be doing today. You can pick little pieces out if you know what operation, what we're going to be doing with that operation, and maybe how it relates to what we did yesterday and what would be new today. So I don't need it all. You can just give me a little piece. Drake, what do you think?
I think we're going to multiply by 10.
Okay? He said we're going to multiply by tens. Excellent. We are going to multiply by tens. What else? Aubrey, add to that.
I think we're going to multiply whole numbers and decimals.
We're going to multiply whole numbers and decimals. You are exactly right. What are we going to use to help us do whole numbers and decimals, Jaden? What's that? We are doing multi-digit whole numbers, so they're not going to be just one digit. It's not going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're going to have more than one digit. You hit it. What did you say? Partial products. He skipped ahead. We're going to hold on to that thought. What are we going to use to help us do this? We're going to use our place value understanding, and we are going to record, as Jaden said, partial products quickly. What is a partial product? Aubrey.
The partial product is your, I don't know this.
Can this help you?
I don't know how to say it. Like, I know what it is.
Okay, what? Come up and point. See if you see a partial product. These are my partial products. Are my partial products anywhere else on this poster? Very good. What about these little things? Are they partial products? Yeah. They're part. They're things that we multiply.
The stuff that's making up.
They're the things, the parts that are making up our final product. Very good. So we have a new chart today, a new anchor chart. Now those of you that will be working on the lesson before you get to my group, you can refer to this. I've also written the steps on here. Would you look at this for a minute and tell me what you see is the same as what we've done and what you see that is different? Let's have somebody, Jessie.
I see that we're round.
Okay, we are still rounding, aren't we? Why do we round?
So that we can get a number close to us.
Because we're going to estimate so that we know at the end if our answer's in the right ballpark, right? That'll help us. So I just want you to look at this, and you will learn in your lesson what we're going to do with this. To be aware of the tense. Once we make our area models, it's so much easier to use whole numbers. But if we are working with a decimal, is there any way that I can represent this decimal as a whole number so it'd be easier to work with? Brian knows. I think most of you know. Brian?
You can say 27 tenths because the 7 is the last digit in the number and it's in the tenths.
Excellent. So I could represent this as 27 tenths, and then I could work with whole numbers. But if I change it to unit form at the beginning, what do you think I have to do at the end? Change it back to standard form. You guys are remembering so well from when we did it about a month ago with only single digit. You are transferring that information exceptionally well. Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our groups. Don't move yet. Let me just review with you. Today I'm going to start with group 2. That means you'll come to me to the table. Ms. Heidi, you'll have your group. I switched a few of you. Check to make sure you know which group you're going to. Watch the board to see what you are doing. Group 3, you're going to start with your digital lesson, and then you'll work on your problem set. If you finish that, you move on to your fluency. I'll see you third. If you are done with these before I see you, move on to either the digital station or your math challenge activities. Group 4, I know several of you finished the lesson yesterday. If you have finished your lesson and your problem set, you are welcome to just start on your math challenge activities unless you feel that you need extra work on fact fluency. You may alternate these if you feel a need to do this first. All right, everybody, look to see what your assignments are. These are the must-dos that you need to answer for each group. And the other assignments, you have a choice on your challenge activities. You can choose any of the ones on there. That's your choice. All right, let's switch. If I can have group 2.